Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out. Pleasure to be in the company of Lucy Kings-Wheatley. Lucy, good to see you. How's life treating you?
I'm really good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. All the better for speaking to yourself. And the world's not too far away. How are you feeling for Liverpool, of all places? How are you feeling?
Good, yeah. It's just great for it to be, pretty much on home soil and feeling good, yeah. It's a big tournament and I'm just really grateful to be selected, so yeah.
Does there bring any sort of pressure because it's on home soil, feeling that everything's sort of in your camp and corner? If you're going to perform, it's going to be now.
A little bit, yeah, but I think, pressure makes diamonds, you know what I mean? But in the same respect, it's also really uplifting the fact that we can have our own here supporting us, and I think that takes the pressure off as well a little bit, so it's a bit of both.
Do you have a target specific in mind? Do you reach kind of put a little bit of pressure on your own shoulders to say, I want this out of this tournament? How do you go into it with your mindset?
I definitely put pressure on myself. I try not to put too much on myself because I think, sometimes that can implement your performance, but I think a bit of pressure for me is definitely what I need. I think I'm still quite inexperienced out here, but knowing that I've got the potential to beat these girls and some of the best in the world, that little bit of pressure just sort of drives me on, and knowing I've got a lot of work to do but can get there is, yeah.
Interesting that you talk about inexperience. Obviously, I've come armed with a little bit of knowledge from our mutual friend D2. You mentioned that you'd done a lot of sparring with Ellie Scotney. How did that experience sparring Ellie kind of bring you along?
I had quite a bit of when I think she was unifying her titles. I'm not sure where she fought, can't remember. I think it might have been in London. And, that was great sparring, to be fair. She really stuck it on me. She's a really powerful girl, and I think there's not really much better sparring you can get from that. Obviously, there's a difference between the pros and the amateurs, but in terms of like physicality and obviously her boxing ability, it was just great sparring and great rounds. And obviously, she's world class, so yeah, it was good.
I wouldn't say her style is too removed much from the amateur game, but obviously a lot of pro infused there. But does it give you a taste for the pro game? Did it make you feel anything for that eventual transition?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I try not to think too far ahead because we're here now, and I'm looking towards the World Championships, Commonwealth Games, possibly Olympic Games in the future, and definitely after that, whether it does come before or after the Olympic Games, it's definitely what I'm looking to do eventually. And
your start was in kickboxing. How do you feel that has helped you in terms of your foundation for boxing?
I think, a big part of it, obviously, is quite a different style to the boxing, which I think, in terms of like fighting, it throws a lot of people off. Like the style that I've got, it's a little bit different, and people don't know how to take it. In the same sort of manner, there's some things that could be tweaked just to help me out with power and my movement. But it makes me awkward having the style that I've got and transitioning over. I think it's served me well so far. So.
How do you switch off from boxing? I'm told that you're a big fan of Dragon Ball Z, as I am as well too. One Piece isn't quite my game if you watch One Piece as well, but Dragon Ball Z certainly is, and that for a lot of boxers actually, I've watched Dragon Ball Z going up, and Anthony Yard had a number of other fighters who I can't quite remember off the top of my head have as well too, but that's something that you plug into to switch off, especially heading into a high pressure situation.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty much hit the spot there with that one. Dragon Ball Z is probably my favourite, and just watching it, like growing up watching it, it's actually like motivational. They're fighters as well, and each fight they sort of like get better as they go on. They've got that race, the stay-in race, and literally every time they fight, even when they lose or they get knocked down, they get stronger from it. And I think I watch that and I almost take it from the anime into the boxing, which is a little bit weird to say for people that don't watch anime, but and obviously a fan of the other ones as well, like Naruto, and watch a little bit of One Piece, but yeah.
Ben Whittaker is another one as well too. Who do you relate to the most in Dragon Ball Z?
It's a tough one, that. Right now I want to say Vegeta because I wouldn't say he's second best, but he's always striving to get better, and I know there's better people out there at the minute. I'm not quite the strongest in the world. That's what he's always aiming for, and that's what I'm aiming for as well.
Yeah, Vegeta certainly went through trials and tribulations. He's my number one as well too. I believe you've coming through an injury as well too to your hand. How do you feel in terms of getting back to 100%?
I had quite a big injury. It put me out for about 14 months, unfortunately. I learnt a lot from it, to be honest, just mentally. You know, it takes a lot to come back from an injury. I didn't realise quite how much it took. But I think coming back into it now, just feel great. Got a couple of bouts out in Czech and Kazakhstan before, and just ready to get on a roll. So I think gone through those tough times now, and nothing's stopping me from getting that goal now.
In those moments, what do you do to continue your training? Is it just training without punching, or training without punching one single hand? What were you doing?
While I was injured.
Yeah, while you had that injury.
A lot of it, yeah, it was like I couldn't spar a lot of the time, so it was like watching people spar up here, and I think that was probably the hardest part, because you're watching everyone else do what you want to do. So a lot of it was just sort of, you know, trying to hold back a little bit and sort of like find a balance in between, okay, do we punch this much, or do we pull it back a bit to help with the loading? And it was just finding the balance, and in the end we did find it, but then I was able to, you know, get the injury sorted, and thankfully now I'm back and at full strength here.
In terms of kind of long-term goals, I imagine you got your eye on LA 2028, but you said earlier in this interview that you're focusing on the now. How much do you think about a couple of years' time when spots come available and the opportunity to fight Olympics arises?
Yeah, again, still just pretty much focusing on the now with the World Championships, but I've definitely got my eyes on the qualifiers when they do come about. Yeah, I'm not going to leave any stone unturned when it does come to it. There's selection, because there's a few of us, or there'll be like 1 or 2 or 3 of us at the weight, and you know, it's fair game for all of us. And I think as long as I keep performing, keep working hard, keep focusing on myself, there's no reason why I can't be that one that gets selected to win qualifiers. And there's no real reason why I can't qualify against, you know, great people when I put my mind to it and put in the work.
Do you particularly feel like you carry and represent Birmingham and the surrounding areas when you go into the ring? How do you feel like about your location? Because it wasn't really a hotbed for talent, but it seems to be like this generation of kind of tapped into Birmingham, the talent that's coming from that area.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really big on, you know, repping the city, and I don't come from, you know, the nicest of areas. I come from Sparkle and Tisley. You know, it's not a posh area or anything, but I know, you know, the likes of Galal, you're fine, come from their areas. I know, obviously, Ben Whittaker is not from Birmingham, but is also representing the West Midlands.
Yeah.
I think just want to keep putting it on the map, to be honest. And you know, there's a lot of talent that's come from it, not just boxing. You know, other sports like look at Jude Bellingham, you know, come from Birmingham. And yeah, just want the whole city to keep backing me, and I'm ready to keep putting it on the map, keep showing why we've got the best athletes.
Where's the best chai tea spot in Birmingham?
Oh, that's a tough one, that. I just mainly go to Carrot Chai in Hall Green. But I know there's a few other good spots. There's one called Hookers, I think it's in it's Moseley, sort of Hall Green. That one's pretty nice as well. But yeah, I'd say Carrot Chai, Hall Green, or Hookers in Moseley.
Hookers, left hooks, right hooks, that sort of thing, sort of writes itself.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not really boxing related. I'm not sure why it's called that, but a try is nice, so yeah.
Have you found one in Liverpool yet?
No, I haven't. It's definitely going to be one that I'm going to look for.
Lucy, for people who want to follow your journey on social media, where can they find you?
I can't remember the name of that. On Instagram it's Lucy_Kings-Wheatley. And then I think it's the same with TikTok as well.
Put the name in Google, I'm sure you'll find it. Lucy, pleasure to speak to you. Thanks for speaking to Take Us Out. Looking forward to seeing you in the world as well too.